For the first time in what felt like years, Alex found himself at peace. The chaos that had once consumed him, work, health, relationships, was beginning to settle. Evelyn's teachings were becoming a part of him, woven into the very fabric of his day-to-day life. He was making decisions more effortlessly, moving through each challenge with a calm confidence that he had never experienced before. He was no longer forcing outcomes or striving with every ounce of energy. Instead, his discipline had become almost instinctive, a natural part of who he was. But just as Alex began to believe that he had finally cracked the code, life presented him with a test unlike any he had faced before. It came in the form of an offer, a tempting, golden opportunity that seemed too good to pass up. A venture capitalist, a longtime acquaintance of Alex's, reached out with a proposal that seemed like a dream, a multi-million-dollar deal to buy out a portion of his company. The offer was big, and the potential rewards were enormous. All Alex had to do was agree to sign the deal. At first, Alex was elated. This was exactly the kind of breakthrough he had been hoping for. The money, the prestige, the freedom. It was everything he had ever wanted. But as he stared at the contract, something nagged at him. The more he thought about it, the more he realized there was something off about the deal. Evelyn's voice crept into his thoughts. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Don't let the outside world dictate your choices. The words resonated deeply, but Alex couldn't shake the growing unease. The deal would put him in the spotlight, but it would also require him to give up much of the control he had worked so hard to regain. The fine print of the agreement would push him back into the world of grueling schedules, constant pressure, and compromises that didn't align with his new identity. It wasn't the money that concerned him. It was the toll the deal would take on his peace of mind. For weeks, Alex wrestled with the decision. On the one hand, he could secure his business's future, finally achieving the financial freedom he had dreamed of. But on the other, he knew that if he accepted, it would require him to fall back into the very mindset he had been trying to escape. The constant grind, the obsession with success, the never-ending cycle of overwork, it would all be back. As he reflected on it, Alex realized something profound. This wasn't just a business decision. It was a test of everything he had learned. His new path, the identity he was trying to build, was about more than just doing the right things. It was about becoming someone who made decisions from a place of calm, clarity, and alignment with his true self, not from the fear of missing out or the pull of external validation. The more he thought about it, the more Alex understood that this wasn't just about the deal. It was about the person he wanted to become. Could he trust himself enough to walk away from something that seemed too good to pass up? Could he stay aligned with his vision, even if it meant stepping away from the easy route to success? At a crossroads, Alex turned to the one person who had helped him the most during his journey, Evelyn. He called her late one night as the weight of the decision pressed down on him. "Evelyn," he said, his voice cracking with doubt. "I don't know what to do. This deal, it's everything I thought I wanted, but something doesn't feel right. What if I'm making a huge mistake? What if this is my only shot at success?" Evelyn's response was simple but powerful. "Alex, your decision isn't about success or failure. It's about who you are, who you want to become. If you make this decision from a place of fear, from a place of doubt, you will simply recreate the same patterns that have kept you stuck. But if you make it from a place of trust in yourself, in the person you are becoming, then it doesn't matter what the outcome is. The right decision will reveal itself." Her words landed like a hammer, striking the core of Alex's struggle. He wasn't just choosing between money and peace. He was choosing between his old self, the one driven by fear and external approval, and the new self he was building, grounded in inner trust and alignment. The next morning, Alex sat with the contract, his mind clearer than it had been in weeks. He reflected on his journey, on the lessons learned, on how far he had come. And in that moment, it became painfully clear. Accepting this deal would be a step backward, a return to the very patterns that had caused his downfall. With a deep breath, Alex made the decision. He would decline the offer. The decision didn't come without hesitation, and the consequences were immediate. The VC was not happy, and the fallout from walking away from such a lucrative opportunity would be significant. Some colleagues were disappointed, some investors upset. But Alex felt a sense of relief wash over him as he realized he had made the right choice. In the following weeks, the impact of his decision became even clearer. While the business didn't immediately skyrocket, Alex felt more in control of his life than he had in years. He wasn't bound to anyone else's vision of success. His business began to grow slowly but steadily on his terms. The financial freedom he once sought had been replaced by a deeper kind of freedom, the freedom to live authentically, to make choices that aligned with who he truly was. The ultimate test had shown Alex something profound. The true measure of success wasn't in external validation, in the next big deal, or in the rush of accomplishment. It was in the quiet, unwavering trust he had in himself. And that trust had been the key all along.